Yo, what's good, guys? It's your boy Crooks209 back at you guys with another video. And today we are going to be going over the mental side of UFC 4. Now, I wanted to make this video because I feel like the mental side of the game is the least talked about aspect of the game. But in my opinion, it is the most important aspect of the game. If you have a good grasp on the mental side of the game, it can take your playing level to the next level, and it's so important. It's used in every aspect of the game or in every style of the game, whether you're a striker, a grappler, a submission artist, or you like working in the clinch. The mental side of the game is very important in every single one of those fighting styles. So in this video, we're going to go over a little bit about what the mental side is and how big of a role it plays in gameplay, as well as going over some tools to help you guys get better at not only understanding the aspect of the game, the mental side of the game, but becoming better at mastering it overall. So the mental side of the game plays a huge part in every single fight that you do when you're playing competitively, whether that be you're hopping on ranked or you're fighting in one of the leagues. It's super crucial and important to being able to play at your best, to playing at your best. If you haven't, and there's different things that affect the mental side of the game for you, whether that be if you haven't gone into practice mode and worked on your combinations or worked on your takedown defense or worked on your sub defense, or you're not good at reading patterns in fights, or you're not good at making in-fight adjustments, or when things go bad, you give up on yourself. If you're not good at maintaining a good mental fortitude during a fight, those are all things that affect your mentality when you're going into a fight, especially if you're fighting an elite player that has just as much knowledge as you, if not more. It can really be a huge detriment to you if you don't have a good mental grasp on the mental side of the game and work on that previous to getting into a fight. So now that we went over a little bit of what the mental side of the game is, let's go over some tools on how to strengthen your mental fortitude and help you master the mental side of the game. So the first thing I want to talk about is preparation. Preparation breeds confidence, in my opinion. And it's just more than just going into practice mode and learning combinations. You want to go through and you want to learn every single fighter in the game, from the women's weight classes all the way up to heavyweight. You want to try to get as much knowledge on these fighters as you can, because like they say, knowledge is power. It really is power, and it really will give you the confidence that no matter who you run into in ranked or in a league fight, in terms of character wise and fighter wise, you have the confidence to know, like, hey, I'm confident in this matchup and knowing what his character can do and what he can do. Now I went up over here to featherweight because I personally am a Cub Swanson main in featherweight, and I feel like when I get into fights with guys in ranked championships, they kind of don't know where Cub Swanson is good at because they haven't done their due diligence in terms of learning all the fighters in the weight class, all the fighters in the weight classes. They just know the Volkanovskis, the Holloways, the Aldos, the McGregors, and the Ortegas, because those are fighters that you see every day in ranked championships. But when you see somebody coming out and using, in my case, a Cub Swanson, if you haven't looked at his stats, you don't know where his weaknesses are at. But if you come in and you've studied all of the fighters in this game, or at least looked at the stats at the bare minimum of every fighter in this game, you would know that, hey, Cub Swanson has good cardio and he has good stand-up. He has a 93 punch speed and 92 punch power with good accuracy, but look at the takedown defense. It's an 88, and his top control is an 86, and his bottom control is an 89, and he has really bad sub defense. So if you're a Volkanovski, you're going to want to take him down, or if you're an Ortega, you're going to want to take him down, or if you're using Connor, really, you're going to stand up with anybody, and Max too, it's the same way. But if you're using anybody other than Connor and Holloway, you're going to want to take him down because he has really low grappling stats. But if you haven't done your due diligence in terms of learning this fighter in particular, you're not going to know that, because if you see him fighting in the UFC, he's a very all-around good fighter. But in the game, he has really low grappling stats. So you want to come in and do your due diligence on every single one of these fighters, because at some point or another, you're going to run into, a 4-star fighter in ranked championships, and they're going to be used by an elite player, and the elite player is going to be at an advantage, because if you're using one of these top fighters, he's going to have seen that multiple times, so he knows where the weaknesses are at, where you don't know where the weakness is at on his character. So he's already at a mental advantage on you before the fight even starts. So in order for that not to happen to you, come in, do your work in terms of learning the fighter's stats, learning where they're good at, where the character is good at, where the character is not good at, and really just try to limit being at a disadvantage straight off the rip. And you want to go in terms of preparation, and if you're doing league fights, go in and watch footage of your opponent. A lot of these guys have been fighting in multiple leagues. I know personally a lot of guys now are coming from like Cage Rage and Primetime MMA, the IXC, the UFL. A lot of these guys are coming up from those leagues, so they all have footage on stuff like that. So make sure to do your preparation in that as well if you want to become either a champion or just an elite player in these organizations. So the next thing I wanted to bring up to you guys is learning to read patterns in fights. Now this goes hand in hand with preparation, because if you learn the patterns off of watching footage of your opponents, then you're gonna know you're gonna know what their patterns are going into a fight, and it helps you out tremendously. I do this whenever I'm doing league fights, or if I'm in ranked and I see somebody beats me, or I see somebody is really good. I watch footage on them and I'm like, hey, this is what they like to do, so this is what I have to do in order to counter this. And then if I see their pattern in the fight, it allows me to adjust without having to think about it, and then it just plays right into my muscle memory. And then from there, I'm at a mental advantage. So learning to read patterns in fights is super important. If you're not able to watch footage on your opponent, then just you're gonna have to do it on the fly. And this is a little bit harder in this aspect, and this kind of will take a lot of time to get used to. But if you're able to master it, it'll take your mental fortitude to another level. It'll breed confidence in you, and it'll really help your game tremendously, to be honest. So you want to pick up, like, if your opponent is leading, if he throws all of his combinations with jabs, what does he do when he's hurt? What does he do? How do you know that you're kind of breaking him from his game plan? What kind of pace does he like to keep? What fighter does he like to use? What set combinations does he throw when he's stationary? All of those different things will help you to counter, to slip, to set up your takedowns, and really just boost your mental fortitude up to another level and take your confidence up to another level, because now you're already comfortable in the fight. You're gonna get more comfortable in the fight, and you're gonna be being able to play reactionary. And that's the best way to play high level fights, is very reactionary. So the third thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is making adjustments on the fly in fights. This honestly is an aspect to the game that I feel makes elite players elite. You see the best fights when players are able to make adjustments on the fly, because it just becomes all about adjustments. If somebody comes out in round 1 and is pressuring you, and they're pressuring you, and then in round 2 they start to play, very cautious. They start trying to counter you. then you have to be able to make an adjustment on the fly. Because if you break somebody's pattern and you make them feel uncomfortable and they adjust, you have to be able to make an adjustment to that adjustment, or you're gonna get confused, and your confidence is gonna go down because you haven't prepared for that. So this feeds back into the last two things we've talked about in terms of learning patterns in fights and having good preparation. Those two things will help you make adjustments in fights as well, and it'll help you to be able to make those adjustments correctly and seamlessly without really having to put too much thought into it. And it'll take your game honestly to the next level, because if you're able to make adjustments on the fly, I would say probably about 85 to 90% of the community that plays the game can't do that. If you break their game plan initially, they start kind of getting a little skittish and they start thinking about what they're doing too much, and then they get caught. So you want to be able to mentally have this down going into a fight, because if you do, then your game's going to shoot up tremendously, and it's really going to go to the next level. So the fourth thing that I wanted to go into with you guys is staying calm in the face of adversity and never giving up on yourself. Those two things tie in with each other. You're going to face adversity at some point in the fight. You are. It happens to all of us. It happens to me quite a bit on stream. If you guys watch me stream, it's an inevitability when you're fighting, to be honest. But controlling how you react to that and learning how to react in those kind of situations is super important. If you can master how you react to when you get hurt, or you're down 2 rounds in a 5-round fight and you have to come back and win 3 rounds, or you're down a round in a 3-round fight and you have to come back and win these last 3 rounds, or even if you've lost a majority of the rounds and you have to get a finish, you have to have that mental fortitude to stay calm and go out and handle your business and try to do and achieve the goal that you know that you have to achieve. But if you don't, if you're not able to stay calm in those moments, then you've already been defeated, because mentally you've been defeated, and your brain's not gonna give you what it needs for you to be successful. So you want to go in, maybe hop in. The way I learned this is I hopped in quick fights with a lot of the people that I would play with, and I'd let them drain my head health, and then we would fight from there, because I was guaranteed to get put in a spot where I'd face adversity, and I learned how to fight with low head health or low body health and be able to win. That's why I feel like one of the best aspects of my game is when I get hurt, I can come back and hurt you, because I'm so used to being in that spot and I'm so calm in the face of adversity that I feel like I can bounce back no matter where my health stats are, no matter how good I'm doing in a fight. I feel like I can finish the fight at any moment if you give me the opportunity. So you want to learn to stay calm in the face of adversity and never give up on yourself. I know things look grim. Things will look grim in fights, and sometimes you might think, hey, I'm not going to be able to come back on this guy. He's been beating me up for 3 rounds, and if it's a 5-rounder, or he's been beating me up for 2 rounds, and my head health is so low I can't come back. But you got to understand, as long as there's time on the clock, you can win a fight. We've all seen flash KOs happen. We've all been caught doing something that we weren't supposed to be doing, and we get KO'd. There's always a chance as long as there is time on the clock. And that's something that you have to understand. And that's something that will help you be calm and calm you down if you use it the right way. So I hope this video really helped you guys. Those are some tools that'll help you guys better grasp the mental aspect of the game and hopefully take your game to the next level. Let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed the video, if this video helped you guys to see the game in a different way, or if it benefited you in any way. I honestly love hearing that my videos have helped you guys in some kind of way. This is the reason why I make these videos is to help you guys become better players. So let me know. You can even DM me on Twitter. You can message me on PlayStation. You can hit me up on Discord, or you can just drop me a comment in here. But give me your feedback on what you guys thought of what we talked about in this video. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to slip straight that subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated. I do streams. I make more videos like this. I have another fighter showcase coming out pretty soon. It's going to be the Megan Anderson one. And then the one after that's going to be an Israel Adesanya video. So I have lots more content coming out. So if you haven't, make sure your notifications are turned on. But all right, guys, until the next video, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Take it easy.